I dreamed I got a job at Walmart, as sort of like a bag boy that helps the cashier out. The manager guy was going over the routines with me to make sure I get it, and it was strange. He could scan the items using their credit card. Looked very futuristic and awesome. He was helping a girl who was checking out. Then she gave my bag the groceries and put them in her cart. Then he left, after I knew what I was supposed to do, and the lady came back and asked me, did anyone tell him I was going to go get some white butter? Quote. Then I responded, I'm not sure. Quote. Then she said, now what am I going to do? Quote. And I said, I guess you could check out again. Quote. Then she said, then she went over to the checkout line again. I noticed she left her cart full of stuff about 15 feet from her in the middle of the hallway. I said, are you sure you want to leave your food alone like that? Quote. She said, hey. Quote. Then I saw she had a baby seat in her cart with a baby in it. And I said, if that were my baby, I certainly would not leave it alone. Quote. Then she just ignored me. Then I went about my business and had to bag her groceries. For about 30 seconds after doing this, I looked back up for her cart and it was gone, and I said, your baby is gone. Quote. And she screamed, my baby. Quote. I took off running outside to see if I could see anyone with her baby, and I thought I saw someone going out the door, so I ran outside. Then they didn't have the baby. I looked around the edge of Walmart and saw someone going around the edge, where it was really dark. Then I ran over there to get a closer look. There were two guys. One guy is like I didn't take it, he did, and he was friends with the guy who did take the baby. I ran to that guy, and his friend had on a white hoodie with a black thin piece of cloth around his head and neck, and he had on black gloves where I couldn't see his face or skin color. He was running off with the baby in the baby seat. And he ran in this weird little building, and he ran into the right door, then came out of the left door a few seconds later. When he came back out, he didn't have the baby. I knew he would get lost in the maze if I followed, so I didn't, because then I would never be able to find him. So I hid beside Walmart's door and waited for him. He had a light on his chest like a flashlight, so I knew he was coming a few feet. Before he got there, he was walking to his friend, and I was hiding beside his friend. His friend knew I was there but didn't tell him, because he knew he would be in bigger trouble if he did. Then, when the guy got even with me around the edge of Walmart, I pulled out my pocket knife using one hand and opened it and started chasing him, and he took off running. He was faster than me, about 7 or 10 feet ahead of me, and my sister yelled, why are you chasing him? I saw him. And I thought to myself, she couldn't identify him, because he's all covered up. Then I kept running after him. He ran into the right door of that weird maze building. I ran right behind him, and he was going around the corner so fast I lost sight of him, but still saw the light from his chest light. Then I saw him again. He made about 5 quick turns, then walked out of the other door confident that he had lost me, so he slowed down a bit. He didn't know I was right behind him, and he didn't even look back, because he was so confident that he lost me. As he was walking out of the edge of the door, I put my left arm around his neck and my right hand stuck the knife in his right loins from his back, and he wheezed and leaned backward. Blood came out and spilled on his white hoodie right. As the knife went into him, I thought to myself, what am I doing? My sister said she saw him. What if this was a prank they were pulling on that girl and they aren't really child molesters? My mind was filling up with questions and panicking, and he went limp, but he was still alive, just wheezing badly, and I was a lot stronger in my dream than I am in real life. I picked him up and put him on my shoulder and was packing him to the front of Walmart, and I noticed the other guy that was his friend disappeared. I knew the baby was probably somewhere in that maze, because the hoodie guy had it first, and as I was walking back to Walmart, I knew people was calling the police and the ambulances, and as I was packing him, Dexter Parody song I Just Haven't Killed You Yet started playing. Then the dream ended well.